Next up, we have a team from Te Pūkenga DOC, whose project is Reimagining Conservation Education. This is a collaborative project between Te Pūkenga and Te Papa Atawhai, the Department of Conservation. This project is reimagining capability development for conservation in Aotearoa to meet our current and future needs in Te Ao Hurihuri, our changing world. Please join me in welcoming Lissa from the Reimagining Conservation Education Project.
Kia ora everyone, my name is Tame Malcolm and this is my son Kaiwhare and I'm involved in pest management. I was very fortunate from a young age, about his age, I was introduced to our ngahere. Since then I've made a career out of protecting our ngahere. In that time I've learned a few important lessons around conservation, the number one being that you never stop learning. However, while I've been filling my kete mātauranga, I've always wondered there must be a better way to streamline this learning. So with that, I'm keen to support this group and their kaupapa as they look at ways we can streamline our conservation education system.
I'm really proud of everything that you've achieved, and I know the work that you're going to present shortly is just going to wow everybody who's here. So heads up and thank you so much.
I'm just going to step to the side because I'm a bit short on this lectern. The whakatauki, ko te whenua te waiu mō ngā uri whakatipu, acknowledges the environment as providing sustenance for future generations. Kia ora everyone, my name's Lissa and we're establishing a future-focused conservation academy that provides a platform for everyone to develop the skills Aotearoa needs to help Papa Tuanuku thrive. Across the country, government agencies, councils, hapu and iwi, Jobs for Nature projects, communities and volunteers are all doing their bit to tackle our biodiversity challenges. Conservation in Aotearoa is growing and changing, and if we're to adapt to the evolving needs and meet our predator-free 2050 goal, our people must have the skills required for that work. The world of vocational education is changing too. More and more, people are demanding that training is accessible and adaptive, that fits around their jobs and their lives, developing the right skills when and where they're needed. We heard that the conservation sector struggles to share knowledge and resources, and that people want training to be adaptable and flexible. We need an approach to skills development that challenges existing models, with a commitment to walking alongside tangata whenua and to recognise mātauranga Māori in conservation mahi. Our solution is to establish a conservation academy with 4 components. It will foster sector collaboration with treaty partnership at the centre and provide a strong voice for conservation training needs. The Education and Training Hub becomes a central place to share knowledge and resources, and a place where people can find a range of learning opportunities. Learning design teams focus on bringing together the right people to develop learning solutions when and where they're needed, and to tackle the sector's call for micro-credentials, apprenticeship models to learning, and recognition of workplace learning. We have support from iwi, education providers, and people working in conservation to develop 3 pilot projects next year as phase 1 of the Conservation Academy. Te Pūkenga and DOC will enter a memorandum of understanding to support this mahi and will invite regional councils and other partners to join them. In our first pilot project, we'll work with selected regions to develop a learning directory, an online place that makes conservation learning opportunities visible and accessible to anyone in the region. Learning is about more than just courses. It can include mentoring, volunteer opportunities, webinars, and other ways to share learning. This pilot promotes sector collaboration and addresses the problem that training can be hard to find and is often siloed. Our second pilot will bring together a team to co-design short courses in Māori environmental practices based on the mātauranga of a particular region. Taranaki iwi will lead the design and the delivery of ways to share their narratives in ways that protect mātauranga. Breaking a full-time program into short chunks of learning that can be stacked towards a qualification will make it easier for anyone, iwi members, employees and volunteers to develop the skills needed to deliver conservation in partnership, a need that was strongly voiced throughout our research. This pilot models an approach to addressing that need with flexibility, accessibility, and iwi leadership at the heart of the design process. Doc Sentinela Nuku Cadetship is a 2-year program focused on developing Māori leadership and conservation. Our third pilot project will align that cadetship with a qualification in Māori environmental practices. This will recognise knowledge and skills gained on the job in various projects and places. This mahi will introduce to the conservation sector an apprenticeship model for learning. Together, these 3 pilots demonstrate how the Conservation Academy can support the conservation sector to develop their training needs. They also provide valuable insights for potential future work, linking a regional directory to a national one, and further developing the apprenticeship model, as well as exploring the possibility of a digital passport to evidence learning. This is our team, Maya from NMIT, bringing education expertise, and Cornelia, Mahue, and myself from Te Papa Atawhai, bringing a conservation and restoration lens. The Aotearoa New Zealand Biodiversity Strategy refers to He Awa Whiria, a braided river, where each braid represents a unique worldview, value, or perspective. The Conservation Academy will support the flow of He Awa Whiria by putting treaty partnership at the centre of conservation knowledge and practice, supporting a joined-up collaborative sector moving forward, and making accessible, flexible, people-centred learning now and in the future. As New Zealanders, we have aspirational goals for the restoration of our environment. And if we're to meet those goals, we need people with the right skills. The Conservation Academy can help bridge the gap as it supports people to tackle our biodiversity challenges and help Papatūānuku thrive. Thank you.